you guys are thinking about when we come off of this and how life is going to be, or what the new normal will be. I think at some point we get back to whatever normal, but I think there may be some new normals as well. So what have you guys been thinking about for your own facility, given what the different way that you're set up?
Well, I think we've, been discussing there obviously is going to be, new kind of cleaning techniques in between clusters. I mean, we pride ourselves as very, very clean and organized, and a lot of our reviews reflect that. People are amazed and relieved at how clean our facility is, but we're just going to amp that up a little bit. And we might have to, enforce wider, spaces in between customers. Like I said, right now in 2 of our salt rooms, we'll talk about the salt rooms, we have 4 chairs in there. We might need to spread them out a little farther from each other than what they are now, or, reduce the seat size, but we'll have to go figure that out as time comes about.
Yeah. Do you think, I wonder about this too, those that, I think right before people were having to close up based on where they lived and in their states and such, people were starting to talk about, eliminating some of the chairs and maintaining the social distance. It'll be curious to see what happens in some places where will people feel comfortable going in a room with people they don't know at all? And we need to start looking at it in terms of just booking it based on family or groups, or, not, are people going to know who has what? Being in a salt room sometimes does make people, want to sneeze or cough or whatever, but it doesn't mean, what it's going to be. So now anytime you see somebody sneeze or cough, what are we going to do? Are we going to run? I don't,
It's true, because, and that's the one thing we always tell people, because we always have tissues available, because we'll say, look, when you go in there, your nose might run, you might sneeze, you might cough. I said, but those are all great signs, because that means it's working, and now it means something totally different. And trying to address those is going to be a little bit of a challenge. We're still working on what those details are going to look like.
Having flexibility of 3 rooms too
helps.
Definitely helps. Yeah,
I would imagine so, especially with the flotation tank and, services and what people might be thinking. And I know what goes into cleaning them prior to all of this, and there's very strict protocols and standards for doing that. But again, it's really educating the customers and developing the relationships and being in communication, informing them, I think is what's critical for all of that.
Yeah, and I was in the swimming pool industry down in Florida before we moved up to Pennsylvania. I worked for a family business. He's a commercial contractor. I'm a licensed residential swimming pool contractor in the state of Florida. I'm very familiar with taking care of the water. So it's one of the things that I really stress when I'm doing my walkthroughs, when customers really want to see the tank, they're curious. I tell them how I take care of it, when I take care of it, what kind of sanitation, has UV, ozone, plus I use bromine, I use hydrogen peroxide, enzyme removers. I always tell them I'm upfront with how I take care of it and how often I take care of it. So
and plus all the salt that's in it.
Yeah, there's 900 pounds, so it's a very sterile environment. Nothing's really, there's bacteria is not really going to grow in the water. You got to really keep the inside of the tank clean and the fiberglass surfaces and stuff like that. So, I really stress how clean that water is.
So is there,
hurts.
right. I know you mentioned about all the salt that's in the flotation tank. So when you kind of market your facility, is there any kind of play that you guys do between the floating in the salt water and the salt?
Along with the name too, 11th element. So sodium's the 11th element on the periodic table. So it really encompasses everything that we do, because when you're in the sauna, you're sweating out, a little bit of salt in your sweat, and then you're in the salt tank plus the salt room and stuff. So,
we definitely play off of that, and people love it. So yes.
People don't really get it, and we have to explain it.
They get it. Yes.
And then they go in the sauna to sweat out their salt.
That's right.
Yeah.
Detox. Mostly we say detox, so detoxing in there.
But we're very optimistic about what's next for us, and it really specifically because of our salt rooms. We think we were busy before with them, and we think it's just going to be gangbusters after. And so what we want to do as well is you know, we're not the only ones that are closed. There's so many people are closed, and everybody is going to be really kind of watching their finances here on out, I think, right? And so we're coming up with ways where they can still come in and get their treatments, because we had regular clients already coming in, and so we want to continue that relationship. And also with the new people, they're going to be looking at more respiratory, health. So we're coming up with creative ways to help them kind of experience it up front.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is a great opportunity for a new narrative to be told to many people, and being able to educate people, reaching out to your local health departments and some of the community hospitals, and the assisted living facilities that whole arena is growing with cell therapy. I mean, we've got we have a project where a pretty significant player, they're already contracting in 6 of their new locations, a salt room in each one of them.
Wow.
And so if you think about a child daycare center, having a playroom or a nap room for, obviously get permission from parents, but, there's some interesting things I think that we could be thinking about. And then how to really prepare for your marketing assets today. So like you said about financing, a lot of people are going to be hurting. I hope people are going through the SBA loans or trying to take advantage of wherever you can get some money, low interest money, delaying where you can with some of the folks that you do business with. So it's important that people sustain themselves through this. But you need to start being proactive about what's your marketing, what's your messaging going to be. What are the things that you want to start doing today that is going to be informing your community, and starting even now doing so,
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's why we're more active. I joke around. I say we're busier now than when we were open because
Right.
we are, you can do 2 things. You can just sit back and feel sorry for ourselves that everybody's closed, or we could say, no, this is the time, like you're saying, to be active, be proactive. This is the perfect time to start educating people even
Right.
more so, because we can't do it in person. So we need to do it online. And, we've done a variety of videos and talks, and we post information all the time, because it's really important that they understand this before we open.
Yeah. And so are you doing things, I know you mentioned something around getting local businesses together on a Zoom meeting and talk and just share and kind of like develop your tribe, so to speak, in your area.
Exactly. Our facility literally is right next door to like a hot yoga studio, and these other holistic businesses in the area, gym owners, a holistic life coaches. So all these people we're having these conversations with, and once we can get open, we're going to have a big networking group,
kind of like a health fair,
a little bit of health fair, and so we can
Yeah, that's great. There, Renee Stern, who works for Salt Chamber, had been there for a while. She helped start the Holistic Chamber of Commerce here in our region. I don't know if there's some in your region. It's something to check out. They're an interesting group of people that basically is a holistic chamber of commerce in local communities.
Interesting.
Sounds like what kind of, that kind of like-minded people of getting things together and such.
Right. Yeah. I don't think there's anything like that around
here.
Yeah,
they're not everywhere. Someone needs to bring it to a community, but they have some structure. And I remember when Renee started it here, Salt Chamber, and we became a member, and they have networking meetings, if you will, and functions and events, and it's part of a national group. So it's something to check out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, and to your point, that's part of it. I think, it's something that the Salt Therapy Association, we want to do more of as well. People love to hear from things like with what you guys are doing. There's a lot of people in the same position. They just opened, or they were about to open, or they, certain levels, and, people are a little bit scared, and what do we got to do? And so there's a way of communicating, tribing with everybody. There are people that are in the Facebook page for the the facility members. But to your point, how do we keep people in the loop and do this more? And it is, I think, the technology that we have, no one was doing Zoom meetings before, really,
Right.
And then you can record it, and it's really simple, and then you can share it. And while I think there's so much being inundated, right? Let's do a web class, let's do this, let's do that. I think we got to kind of get the messaging out there as a group too about what cell therapy could be in the future, and start making sure everybody's being prepared for it, like you guys are thinking about it.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think there's going to be a big boom with it, and we're thankful that we got into it when we did.
Yeah.
The word spreads, and like Chris said, it's the biggest part of our business, of what we do.
Yeah, and it's interesting too for our business at Salt Chamber. While there are some projects that have been put on hold, obviously, there were people that had been thinking about adding this to their business or starting a new business, and so people are like looking at it again differently and saying, "Wait a second, maybe we should be doing something right now." And then I think there's those that are, having to look and putting it on hold because of the money and what their resources might be, and so. We're seeing, a lot of that. And then we have the larger projects, which, many of them are moving forward as if they were, with construction and everything else. So it's an interesting time, but it's great that you guys, I can't wait to see your place, get out and around and come there. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get together in September for the Salt Therapy Association conference. We had to put off the symposium that was supposed to happen in May in Poland. But we're trying to figure out, maybe we should do some kind of virtual get together and things like with you guys going through it and hear some other stories and really see how we can create some sharing about what we want to be doing collectively and how we could kind of mastermind with each other some things that we could be doing, for ourselves and for the industry.
That's right. We'd love to be part.
Yeah, cool.
Great.